Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. This is Rob, aka Tino777. Yeah, this is basically another pickups video, and also to talk about my meetup with a few YouTubers. A few of us met up this Saturday just gone. We went to meet at PlayNation Games, which is a retro store in Croydon. It was set up by Carl Ocarina Fella 84. So I don't live too far, so I headed down, got to meet a few YouTubers. I had an awesome time, really enjoyed myself, managed to get some great games, and just had a lot of fun. It's the only sort of downside to it was that I couldn't stay very long. I actually got there first. I was the first person to arrive at the shop. And then I met up with sort of Carl Ocarina Fella 84, Lee Retro Chef, Daz Cojonesdeloro, and GasHead66 Steve. They all showed up at the same time. They all arrived together, and we had a really good time. Was able to have a chat with each and every one of them. We socialised quite a bit in the store. A very special shout out to Stu, the one-half owner of PlayNation Games. He was a very friendly guy, very accommodating. I traded in some stuff there. A lot of games I traded in, and he gave me a really fair deal in terms of in-store credit, so I was able to splash out in that shop without spending too much money myself. I will definitely be going there again. And it was just really nice meeting up with all these YouTubers for the first time. I will go into more detail in a second. I'm just sort of giving you a very brief overview. I did have to leave. I was there. I hung out with them for a bit in the store for about an hour or so, and then we sort of went out and we popped into a CEX, sort of having a look at some shops, and then I sort of had to leave because I had to go to work that evening. But overall, though, it was a really good time. Had a lot of fun. But yeah, I'll sort of explain my day, how it sort of was. I recently watched. I saw Ocarina Fella's video on the day, should I say? I also saw Lee Retro Chef's video, and just recently watched Cojonesdeloro's video as well. Very entertaining, really funny stuff. It's very good to sort of hear each person's views on how the day went. But yeah, start from the beginning. Originally we were supposed to meet up at around 12 midday. Got a text from Lee telling me that they were all going to meet sort of just after that time. I made my way down there. I live in Fulham in London, central London, so it's quite a way, quite far away, Croydon, because Croydon is sort of like in south, way sort of southeast part of London, whereas I live in sort of southwest London, sort of more central. And I've never been there before. Croydon, I haven't been to Croydon in about 10 years, so it's been a very long time. I'm not familiar with the area at all. So I wasn't quite sure how to get there. But fortunately, it was actually a very straightforward journey. I didn't have too much trouble finding the place. I simply got on a train to Wimbledon, and then from Wimbledon I took a tram, and it took me right into the heart of Croydon, in and around the Croydon High Street. So I didn't have too much trouble actually finding the High Street and in turn finding the store. I got there. I was the first one to show up. I got there roughly around 12:30ish, maybe 1. I don't know what the guys are. They're all stuck in the pub from what I saw of Daz's video. They were all in the pub having a drink while I got there. So I had a bit of time to spend to myself at the shop, which sort of worked out for me really, because I actually picked up a lot of great stuff. I'm kind of glad I got the heads up on them actually, because I picked up some right corkers. I mean, they all managed to get some really great games themselves. Don't get me wrong, but I'm really glad I sort of got there a little bit at first, you know. So I was able to have a little cheeky gander at all the games. Stu from PlayNation Games was really accommodating to me. He opened up his cabinets, let me rummage around all the retro games. So I was really quite fortunate in that respect. Yeah, so I had a good hour or so to myself at the shop. It didn't feel like that, to be perfectly honest with you, because first time I'd been in the shop, I never got to go to their original store, M&M Games. I'd always been meaning to go, but never got around to it. And so I was really excited to see the new store, because I'd seen the tour on the videos, on their YouTube videos. So I was really excited. Unfortunately, there were a couple of games that I wanted to get that I sort of had in my mind. Unfortunately, they were long gone. Though to be fair, these games had been there for ages, so I was very late to the party, so I wasn't really expecting them to be there. But I'm not gonna lie, I was slightly disappointed that they weren't there for me to pick up. So yeah, so I got there beforehand. First thing I did, I went straight to their cabinet where they display all their rare games. There was nothing in their rare cabinet that I wanted, although when I went into their cabinet that had all their sort of Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, first game that immediately caught my eye, snapped it up. You'll see in a second. This was the right call. I was so chuffed to get this game. I'll go into my pickups in a moment. But I was really happy to find this one game. It's a very rare game. It's a Game Boy Advance game. It's a loose cart. It's a very rare game, and it goes for a lot of money. And it was a great price compared to what it goes on eBay. You know, I'm really chuffed that I got this game. Yeah, so I spent a good hour or so sort of going through all the games. Like I said, Stu was very kind. He opened up all the cabinets for the retro games and sort of let me rummage around. I had a good look at the Super Nintendo games. I had a rummage through the NES games as well. They had a few Castlevania games there. I was very tempted to get them, but I don't have an NES. I was actually saying to the guys there when they showed up, just sort of that if I start collecting for the NES, I know I'm not going to stop. I'm very nostalgic for the NES, but I've sort of always held off because, yeah, I just don't have the space for all these games, and I've got a lot already, and NES is just like a collection in itself, and I just can't do it right now. I don't have the space, don't really have the money. Super Nintendo sort of takes up most of my financial capacity to take in all this stuff that I'm buying, so yeah, better not to delve into another possibly addictive collection. But yeah, it was really cool. I'd already had a handful of stuff by the time the guys showed up. Minute they showed up, you know, they were very friendly right off the bat. I wasn't expecting to see GasHead66, Steve. I had no idea he was going to be there, so it was a real pleasant surprise when I saw him. Very nice guy. Cojonesdeloro, he is exactly how I imagined him to be on camera. Like he's exactly how he is on camera. He really didn't disappoint. Very funny guy. Carl Ocarina 84, really nice guy. I was able to have a good chat with all of them. Really cool, down to earth guys, and that's what I was really hoping for. Lee Retro Chef, top guy, really friendly guy. I mean, out of all of them there, he's the only one that I actually have spoken to on the phone and sort of communicated via text, sort of outside the YouTube. So I was already quite, you know, familiar with him, but it was the first time I got to meet him face to face, and he really is a very nice, genuine guy. You know, the moment I met him, I could tell, you know, yeah, I'm gonna get on with this guy. Really cool guy. Really nice to finally get to meet him, because we sort of like been going back and forth trying to arrange a time to meet up, and it's very difficult because, you know, he's a very busy guy. I'm not exactly very flexible in terms of when we can meet. Our schedules tend to clash, so it's very difficult for us to sort of arrange a time to meet up. I mean, even for this meetup, I had to squeeze it in because I worked very late the night before and had to work that same evening as well, so I couldn't really sort of devote my time as much as I wanted to. I really wanted to stay with all the guys, hopefully go to a pub afterwards and hang out with them. I really wanted to, but unfortunately I couldn't. And I know Lee was in the same boat. He had to go to work that same evening as well. But yeah, we stayed at Play Nation Games for a while. I managed to get some one-on-one time with each person. Just had a good chat with them, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Really was a good day. Bought some games. Discovered a store that, was very reasonable. The prices at Play Nation Games, for the most part, were very reasonable. A lot of the stuff that I saw there was either just or just below eBay prices or dramatically lower than eBay prices. So I definitely recommend this store. If you're in the London area, I definitely recommend you check out Play Nation Games. It really is a fantastic store. Unfortunately, I didn't get to meet Dan, who is the co-owner of Play Nation Games. But Stu was a very, very friendly guy, very accommodating. Once he found out, I was a YouTuber, he was such a nice guy. And like I say, he just opened up his cabs, let me rummage around. I don't know if he does that for his regular customers, but he just sort of like opened up the cabinet. It's like, yeah, Rob, have a look, go rummage around, go nuts, and I did. So yeah, it was a really great experience to meet everyone, and at the same time, check out a store, because I don't see retro stores in London. I know there's two. There's Play Nation and there's Retro Game Base, which is in Streatham. I don't know much about that store, but yeah, they're always in sort of really far away from me, so I can't just sort of go down there willy-nilly. I do have to sort of pre-plan if I do want to go down. But this was a really great day, a good few hours well spent for sure. Yeah, so moving on, I'll sort of get right to the pickups. I don't just have pickups from. I mean, most of it is the stuff that I picked up from Play Nation, but I also got a couple of games here that one I picked up, I bought on eBay, and another that I also bought out in the wild. Before I get to the Play Nation stuff pickups, I guess I'll start with the other two items that I picked up. Start with this one pickup that I bought in the wild. Picked it up at Game. I sort of caught an advert on TV about just some deals they had with some PlayStation 3 games, and this one immediately caught my eye, and that was Batman Arkham Origins. Picked this up for £22, brand new and sealed. Yeah, so really chuffed to get this, although when I first booted this game up, it was so buggy, like from the off. Like the minute I turned it on, it was chugging, it was proper slow, lagging to hell. It was proper broken. And I thought, I initially got scared because it did patch from the off. So I thought it would just sort of be fixed straight away, but it wasn't. And I got quite spooked because I thought I'd have to return the game. But then something in me said, try it out again. So about a few hours later, I popped it back in just to see how it was, and it worked perfectly fine. And I've been playing it. This is what I'm currently playing at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. It's a solid Arkham game. If you're a fan of Batman, if you're a fan of the Arkham games, definitely check this one out. For £22, brand new and sealed, I thought that was definitely a good price. And now this is something quite special here. This is a game I picked up on eBay. It's a Super Nintendo game. It's boxed and complete. I'm really excited to get this because it's definitely been one that's been on my watch list for a very long time. It's this version of the game is quite rare. There's like a regular version which you can pick up all day long. It's not rare at all. It holds its value, but it's not particularly expensive, and it's not a very rare game. But this one in particular is very rare. Well, I won't say very rare, but it doesn't come up on eBay a lot. It doesn't necessarily command a very high price. It is expensive, don't get me wrong, but compared to other Super Nintendo games, it's nowhere near the level of expensive as it is as some of the other games. But I was really, really chuffed to get this one because I sort of had it in my mind that this was the version that I wanted to get. And the game I've got is Super Mario AllStars with Super Mario World. And yeah, it's in really nice condition. It does have a little bit edge wear here, but it's otherwise in very nice nick. It's fully complete cartridge, no yellowing, no nothing at all. Very, very happy to get this. I remember Mr. Neckbreaker, aka Shaolin Skunk, he picked this game up, and I was gutted when I saw him pick it up, simply because I've been watching it for a long time, so I was shocked that I had not seen it. Because most of the copies that do come up boxed like this tend to be in really poor condition, and of course the cartridge to this is very common because they were pack-in titles for a lot of the Super Nintendo box sets. But I wanted a box copy of this with Super Mario World. This is definitely the genuine one. You know it's the genuine one because it has this sticker. I know Shaolin Skunk, Mr. Netbreaker, he has this one as well that has a sticker as well. So very, very happy to get this into my collection. Been a long time coming because I know a lot of people have seen my Super Nintendo box collection might have noticed an absence of Mario, because I did have like Mario All-Stars, Mario World Loose Cart, but I definitely wanted to get this box, so very, very happy to get that. Okay, now moving on now to the games that I picked up at PlayNation. I got it's all retro stuff. Got a very nice selection here. But before I actually get into the stuff I picked up at PlayNation, I do wanna bring up one game that Lee Retro Chef gave to me when we met up, and you know, this is. I mean, I'm not gonna let this go like this, Lee. I'm definitely going to give you something, but he really hooked me up here in terms of just a game that I've really wanted to get, and it is in bloody mint. It's in mint condition. I was really chuffed to get it as well because just a game I've been curious to play, and I definitely want to add it to my collection. It's a PlayStation 2 game. It seems to be a sequel to a fairly well-known Mega Drive title, and that is Altered Beast. So really, really chuffed to get this, Lee. Thank you so much for giving this to me, mate. I really was not expecting for you to just give it to me like that. He just handed it to me. He goes, "Yeah, it's yours." I was like, you know, because I wanted to either, so I didn't bring anything to trade for him because I had a bunch of stuff that I was trading in, and I wasn't driving, so I had to carry all my stuff in a bag. I do have like a stack of PS2 games that are probably open to trade, so I was going to sort of give him first dibs on anything he might have wanted, but he just sort of said, "Look, you know, it's yours." So thank you so much, Lee, for this, mate. I really do appreciate it. It's definitely one that I've wanted to get for my collection, so you really did me a favour, mate. So many thanks for that, mate. I'll be sure that when I make a video, mate, you'll get a first dibs on any game that I might put out there. So thanks very much for this, Lee. Yeah, fantastic. It is properly, if you want to see it, it's proper mint. It's proper mint. Really, really glad. So thanks very much, Lee, for this. Really do appreciate it. Okay, moving on. So yeah, my PlayNation games. Essentially, I brought a bunch of stuff to trade. Stuff you've seen before. That nobody really wanted. I'd sort of made a trade video a while back. It was just a bunch of PlayStation 1 games and some Mega Drive games, stuff that I've shown in videos that nobody wanted. I also had that boxed Game Boy Advance. I had some interest in it, but it kind of no one sort of really followed through on it. So yeah, I just got rid of all that stuff. and I got a decent amount of credit. I ended up with they gave me £90 in credit at Play Nation Games. So I didn't spend a lot there actually. I only I'll tell you I'll sort of go through the games and how much they cost and what I actually spent. First game I picked up. Now I don't really know if this wasn't really look in hindsight. This wasn't such a great deal simply because I bought it for roughly where it does sort of go on eBay, and it is actually missing something. But it's a small thing, but it's still, you know, if you're gonna pay the equivalent of the eBay price, you kind of wanted it complete. But it's really my fault because I really didn't do the research. I just sort of bought it on blind faith. But it is otherwise in very good nick. And the game I bought was Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, really happy to get this game either way because of the Final Fantasy series, probably the only two that really piqued my interest are this one and Final Fantasy IX. So I'm hoping to maybe get a black label copy of Final Fantasy IX at some point. I did have Final Fantasy VII, but my one was a platinum copy and it was missing a manual, so that was actually one of the things I traded away. But this is in very good nick. It's just missing the demo. There was a demo of Final Fantasy X for the PS2, but aside from that, it's complete and very nice nick. So that was $21.99, but I had £90 credit, so most of this stuff I didn't really spend any money on really. So yeah, got that. Next game I got here, this is a boxed and complete Game Boy Advance game. Nothing really special, but I don't know, but this game has been on my mind and I've been wanting to play this game. I just had like this feeling, I just really wanted to play this game. I don't know why, but it's a classic game, don't get me wrong. But lately it's been on my mind, I've been feeling to play it, so when I saw it there, and it was in very good nick, I decided to pick it up, and that was the NES Classics Donkey Kong. And it's in superb nick, actually. Fully complete. Great condition. Yeah, I've just been in a real mood to play Donkey Kong lately. I don't know why, it's been on my mind. I was originally planning to get the Game Boy version originally. But I saw this and this was $12.99. Which I think roughly is what it goes for as well on eBay, I think. But, you know, it's in cracking condition. It was very nice to just pick up. I just saw it there. It was really the condition that sort of convinced me to pick it up. So, yeah, really, really happy to get that. Next one I've got here. This is a Super Nintendo game. It was actually Lee Retro Chef that convinced me to pick this one up. Because originally I wasn't going to get it. Simply because it's not complete. It's a Super Nintendo game. It is one that I've sort of had my eye on, and it wasn't too expensive. And that was Goof Troop, and it was $14.99, which I think is a very good price. The box is in lovely condition, really nice condition. The only downside to it, unfortunately, it's missing the manual, but the cart is mint. Does it come with the plastic? I can't remember. No, there's no plastic bag, but the cart is mint. The inner tray is mint. The box is in lovely condition. You know, so I figured I'll just pick up a manual later on down the line. I've heard a lot of good things about this. I believe it's got a great sort of two-player. I think there's also 4-player in this game. Oh no, it's just 2-player. I think this has a really good. I've heard it's got a really good sort of 2-player co-op mode on it. It's sort of like a top-down action game. I was never really a fan of Goof Troop, the cartoon itself, but I've heard a lot of good things about this game. And it's a Capcom game, so I love my Capcom games. Usually, during this period, Capcom could do no wrong. So, yeah, very happy to get that. Next game I've got here, this one is for the Mega Drive. And again, this is one that I've been meaning to get for a long time. It's not really an expensive game. It's not a game that's necessarily in high demand, but it's actually a pretty good game from the footage that I've seen. I was talking to Steve, GasHead66, about this game when we were at PlayNation Games, and he said it was a brilliant game. And I saw it was in very nice condition, so I thought I'd pick it up. And that is Jurassic Park Rampage Edition. This is the sequel Jurassic Park game, and it's a lovely condition, very almost mint condition, and yeah, it was $4.99. So yeah, really glad to get this. Okay, so now we're entering into the gem territory here. So I'll sort of next one up here I got is a game that I've been looking for on eBay for a while, but it's very expensive, even as a loose cart. Box copy tends to go anywhere around sort of like the £40 range. Loose cart tends to be around £15 to £20, which I thought was a bit too much for it. PlayNation Games, this game was going for $6.99. The minute I saw that, I bagged it straight away. And that is Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. So really chuffed to get this game, as it's been one of the key Kirby games that was missing from my collection that I definitely wanted to own. So really happy to get that. Next game I've got, this is boxed and complete. It's for the Game Boy Color. Was so chuffed to get this actually, because I have not seen this on eBay. I've seen the loose cart of this. The loose cart goes for around £15, but to get a box copy in this condition at this price, I was chuffed. It was first thing I saw, snatched it up right away. And what I got was Mega Man Extreme 2. As you can see, it was $19.99, which I'll tell you right now, if this was on eBay, it'd be £40 minimum. So really chuffed to get this, and it's in really good condition actually. There are some signs of wear. There's like some slight sort of crush damage here, some minor crush damage, and sort of some edge wear of course. But otherwise, it's fully complete. It's in lovely condition. So I really scored on this one. I really was not expecting to find a Mega Man Game Boy game box in this condition at this price. So very happy to get this. Yeah, just another excellent one to add to the collection. And finally, this is a Game Boy loose cart, but it is a very rare game on the Game Boy Advance. Just after I saw the Mega Man game, I saw this and immediately I snatched it, because even though it was a pricey title, it was nowhere near as expensive as it goes for on eBay. So chuffed to get this game because it's fantastic. It's a really brilliant game. It's a shame that it goes for a lot of money, because more people should be able to play this game if you like sort of side-scrolling action games. And the game I got was Ninja Cop. This is a very rare game. It's a fantastic game as well. It's made by Konami. If I was to describe this game, it's very much like Shinobi crossed with Bionic Commando. You have like this really excellent sort of grappling hook swing mechanism, which allows you to leap onto platforms above. Plays very much like a Shinobi game. Kind of reminds me of Shadow Dancer in many ways, but there's a lot more to it than Shadow Dancer. It's a fantastic game. It was 30 quid, which might seem like a lot of money for this game, but the cheapest you'll see a loose cart for this game is £80, so 30 doesn't seem so bad when you look at it like that. A box to complete copy of this game goes for well over £200, so really chuffed to find this game. I never thought I would get a copy of this game, much less a European copy of this game, which is far less common than the US, far less common than the US version of the game. So very happy to get this game in my collection. Made the trip worthwhile just for this one alone. And it's worth pointing out that I didn't spend really any money. All I spent, the whole thing sort of came up to just over £100. I only spent about 20 quid. That's out of my own money. Everything else was just from the credit that I had in store. So very happy to get those games. And of course, I was very happy just to hang out for the first time with some YouTubers, because it had been a while, it's been a long time coming, and I definitely hope to do it again Really enjoyed myself. I hope to meet more YouTubers in the future. I never thought I would meet Daz so soon, simply because he's not a Londoner. He lives further out. So I always thought I would meet Lee at some point. I always thought I would meet Ocarina Fella at some point.